Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Build Your Best Life. Good evening, Deacon Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. I am really excited this evening. I cannot believe it's December. I know y'all tired of hearing me say that, but I cannot. But I am happy. This year is rolling around, and we are getting ready to start a new year, 2022. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you know, obstacles come in all forms, such as murder, suicide, low self-esteem, financial issues, lack of role models. And these are only some of the obstacles that our young people face. My platform is designed to assist high school age and young adult males as they follow my basic principles in order to overcome these obstacles and to build their best lives. You see, I believe it is better to train early rather than to fix later. So that is why I'm on here consistently in order to help our young people. So come on in, share, and let's get started. Of course, my theme for December is stepping into the future, and I'm delighted to have today with me Shaonda Bryant of Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Shaonda.
Hello, Miss Deborah.
Glad to have you on. And she and I are going to be talking about what it takes to be a pro. What it takes to be a pro. So come on in again and share. But Shaonda, can you go ahead and tell our audience all about yourself?
Yes, I can. For those part of our audience that do not know who I am, I'm Shaonda Bryant. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I am married to the most amazing man on this side of heaven, Philip Bryant. I'm the mother of two incredible young men, Avery, 24, Aubrey, 18. And I'm a member of St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church, where I serve as a nurturer, teacher for our children's ministry. And also our children's ministry is known as the Ark. I'm a graduate of Florida A&M University, where I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I have a very diverse background. So I've had the pleasure of serving in the U.S. Army Reserves. I have a mortgage industry background where I work with, have experience in hazard insurance claims, foreclosures, and REO properties. But one of the areas that I'm most passionate about, what I enjoyed, is youth development. Early in my career, my first professional job was working as a counselor with adolescent males, early adolescent males, at a residential facility for juvenile delinquents. I had the pleasure of also working with people with developmental disabilities. And I've most recently worked as a substitute teacher. So since my transition recently, I've transitioned to full-time caregiver of my mother, who had a major life-altering medical event that caused me to be her primary caregiver. So those are just a few things about myself for those that don't know me, and a little bit more about for those that do know me.
Yes, I was sitting here. I was like, well, dog, I even learned some stuff about her, and I've known her forever. So I'm glad that I allowed you to introduce yourself, and I didn't try to do it. So thank you so much again for agreeing to be on here with me today. And I'm excited about this topic. And I hope that you will be too when we get into it and you see exactly what it is we are talking about today. So for our first question, the world is full of people that are stressed most of the time. A good portion of this stress comes from procrastination.
Ooh.
Being prepared and considering the future is the best way to avoid chaos for tomorrow. Yes. Say that again. Being prepared and considering the future is the best way to avoid chaos tomorrow. So, why do you think such a significant number of young people like to procrastinate?
Oh, that is a wonderful question. It's not just for the young folks, it's for some adults too. So I think at some point in our life, all of us has had some type of procrastination, maybe a little bit or a lot. But I think, nowadays a lot of our young people procrastinate due to immaturity, maybe lack of maturity. They don't see the value in planning and being prepared. Um, Distractions, technology, peer influence, overload, and overcommitment. Sometimes we just try to do too much and don't see the value in being prepared. I think another thing is that, and I may get in trouble with this one, is parents. I think parents lack of involvement, teaching our children how to maneuver and be proactive, and then too much involvement. We do too much. We don't give them an opportunity to um, to be proactive and be prepared. So procrastination is nothing but delay, postpone, hesitate, dilly dally. So all those things are just something that I think our young people will do. I think we may have done it at some point, but I think those are just my opinion, some of the things that hinder our young folks, or the reason why they procrastinate.
Some great top tips, great tidbits on why they procrastinate. And I do agree with you. And it's so interesting. I like two things that you said specifically. One is that it is not just young people. You are correct. It is all of us
Yes.
from all age groups tend to procrastinate. And,
Mhm.
it seems that the older you get, you will find out that, hey, this is not getting it. It's not getting me anywhere. I should shift and change this. But some people continue to do it.
Yes.
And then the other thing I like that you said is, and you see, I might get in trouble. Well, this this forum is for us to tell the truth and get those things out there that are going to help our young people. So you will not be getting in trouble on here. And
Okay.
I love that. The lack of parents teaching the kids about procrastination and being I guess organized and getting their clothes out the night before and doing different things. I can remember back when Christopher was small, we used to have so many fights on Sunday morning. For some reason, he could only always find one shoe. And like, you got 2 feet, they're attached to the same body. How can you have one shoe and not the other? But it was that thing of getting your things together the night before, which I would
Absolutely.
say that, but I wouldn't go in there and double check behind him. So yes, at a point, parents need to get involved as well. And then two, we get them to a point that some of us will do everything for them. We don't give them an opportunity to learn to do things or whatever. So then when they get out in the world, it's like, oh, so what am I to do?
Yeah.
So that was great, 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 great. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, people have different perspectives about being on time. Because some people think it's okay to be slightly tardy. You're supposed to be slightly late. And then some people just don't care.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think it is better to be early or fashionably late for meetings, appointments, or events?
Oh, um, that is a no-brainer. I I believe it is always better to be early. One, when you're late, it sets the wrong tone. People look at you like you're crazy. It says a lot about you that you're unorganized, you're not dependable, and you're not reliable. So you never know what's going to happen. You never know if something gets changed early or whatever the case may be. It's always best to arrive early.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. My husband said, you just get there too early. But, I just tell him, I said, well, you never know what's going to happen on the road for one. You may say, yeah, it'll take me 20 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to get there, but you don't know how traffic is going to be. You don't know if it's going to be an accident. And then if I'm late, and if I'm going to an appointment or something like that, then that causes everybody behind me to be late because
Absolutely.
I've caused the doctor or whomever to be late and they're going to run late. And, I don't want that on my conscience. I cause people to be late. So I'm there early. So I always have something to read. So I'm good. I didn't rush. I'm not stressed like I'm going to be late. So I get there, I have time to breathe, get myself together, do
Yep.
what I want to do.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, I guess, for whoever's hosting a meeting, whoever's hosting an event, I mean, it may say something about how you feel about them. Even though that may not be how you feel, but they may take it as being rude, a lack of respect. So I think we need to consider those potential things, outlooks.
Right. And and another thing about being late, I absolutely hate being in a meeting. I've done whatever to get there on time. They start the meeting, and then every time somebody comes in late, they start back to give them a recap. And I'm saying to myself, why are you giving them a recap? They should have been here on time. If they want to stay
Absolutely.
afterwards, that's a different story. But you're causing us now to hear this again when we were here on time.
Yes.
So that is a bad thing with that as well. Good evening, Agnes. Thank you for tuning in today. Glad to have you on. This is going too fast. What are 3 advantages of being proactive, in your opinion?
If I had to pick 3 advantages for being proactive, well, I would say being prepared. That would be an advantage. Being prepared, you don't have to worry about the chaos if you're not. If you're prepared, when you're not prepared, you can almost anything can happen. But at least if you're prepared, you're pretty much less stressful and you don't have to deal with a whole bunch of chaotic issues. If I had to pick another advantage, I would say maybe the ability to be flexible. Having flexibility, being able to make changes. If you have your plan and you have it organized, you're able to make adjustments and changes. So having that ability to make those flexibilities, and definitely saving time and money. Everybody wants to save time and everybody want to save money. So I think being proactive would definitely allow you to do all those 3 things.
All right, those are great. Be flexible, save time and money, and being prepared. And if anyone has another one that you can think of, you can put it in the chat. We would appreciate it. But those are great. Be prepared, be flexible, and save time and money. I love it. All right. Now, some students seem to be on top of their educational requirements. However, many others struggle. People who are bold look ahead at upcoming activities such as projects, exams, and other events and anticipating possible issues that they may have. Now, what advice would you offer to students and others who don't look ahead and cause themselves unnecessary stress?
If I had to offer some advice to students and maybe to others, I would say we have to be intentional. We have to definitely be intentional about when we're making plans for our future, making plans for any type of event, even when it comes to school. We just have to be intentional in how we plan for our future, starting early, setting goals. We have to set goals. And when we set our goals, we have to prioritize those goals. Is it something that urgent or the importance of it? Um, I think once we've done that, and then we have to know how to work the plan. How do we work this plan? We got timelines. What's my responsibilities? And making sure that I can effectively carry out what is required for this task, this activity, this event, or even my future. And then I would say also, it's okay even if you have goals. It's okay if you go back and revisit and revise those goals, because things happen. That's the flexibility when you've planned to make changes, to revise and revisit your goals.
Okay, that's great advice. Did you hear that, everybody? Revisit your goals, and then if it's necessary, you have time to revise them. So it's always good to go out there ahead of time and to do things. And how is your plan working? You know, as part of your goals, and that's what we're talking about, getting ready for 2022. We always say that there are some things that we want to do new in the year coming up, but we don't sit down and make those goals and write them down and then figure out, well, okay, this is my plan of what I want to do. How am I going to get there? So we don't do that work in preparation. So then we don't start in 2022. So it was just something that we said. So this is excellent. So you can take those plans, be intentional about what you want to do going forward. You can start at the end of this year if you want, but you know, like I said, most people start at the beginning of the year. So be intentional. Then take that plan, make sure you have those action steps of how you're going to get there, work those plans. And then, you know, right before you start or even after you start, because sometimes you think something's going to run a certain way and then you start doing it and you're like, that's not going to work. You may have to shift your times or days that you were going to do it or whatever. So you revisit and then revamp it if you need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, if I may interject here, and just an example of when my youngest son Aubrey was getting ready to start applying to school. So it was a little bit different with my older son, but with Aubrey, you know, we had to go ahead and, okay, what's the plan? I sat down with him. This is being proactive. We sat down with him and said, okay, hey, pick 5 schools. You don't have to pick 10 schools. I mean, pick 5 schools that you're interested in and that you want to, these schools going to have the major that you want. Start from there. It saves time. It saves money. Not only that, when you see that because I think with some schools, they have what they call early admissions. They have regular admissions. So you have to be abreast of the timelines for that. So therefore, you got to work along somebody else's timeline. So with doing that, you also have to have a plan and a schedule, set goals, prioritize, and work it. And when he was doing this, I allowed him to do everything. I was just I would say just the manager of it. I just kind of made sure I followed up that he did all these things. And for the most part, he did everything. But then by the time it was to make the final decision, he had got accepted to most of those schools that he had applied to. He had gotten accepted, but it was a matter of making decision then. Okay, which one of these schools is going to give you the most of what you wanted? And then even after he had decided on a school, he had gotten the opportunity for a full ride. Therefore, we had to revisit and make some more changes. And he had to end up changing his major just slightly a little bit, but it was still in an area that he was interested in. So it pays to plan early so it relieves stress and chaos.
Right. Very good. Right, you hit it, everybody. Plan early today to prevent that chaos and stress in the future. And hello, Brenda. Thank you for tuning in. We're glad you could join us today as we were talking about how to be a pro here. All right. So, and this is going great. I should have had 20 questions. can you give our audience on ways to be proactive?
Ooh, proactive. First of all, proactive is causing something to happen rather than responding to something after it has happened. So I know Barbara said a lot there, but it's like being how tips that I would give on being proactive being, don't wait to start your plan ahead. That would be one tip that I would give. Don't wait to start, because you are in control of your life. You are in control of your future. So don't wait, start early. Second tip I would probably give, make sure you have goals set. Always set goals for you can set goals for every aspect of your life: family, finances, education, even when it comes to entertainment, whatever. You can set goals for every aspect of your life. Prioritize those goals, and always take responsibility. And if you have to because you have to make it happen. Always takes responsibility, because if you don't make it happen, it's not going to happen. So those would be some of the tips that I will offer on ways of being proactive.
Okay. So don't wait to get started. You are in control of your life. It is up to you to do that. Have your goals set, and then take responsibility. You have to make it happen. Like you saw I started saying this when I was at Florida Blue. You know, some people say, you know, what you're gonna do today, or do something. I say, make something happen. Not what's gonna happen. Make something happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you can do it. We have confidence in all of you young men, that you can do it. You have the intelligence, the skills, the background. You have a purpose for your life. You can do it, but you have to have the motivation. You have to start that plan, and you are in control of you and only you.
Absolutely.
Remember that. And that is saying a lot. You know, we can't control anybody else. Now we can react to how they can control themselves, but we can't do anything about how they act. But we control ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. I didn't see anybody put anything in the chat, so I guess y'all good with everything Mrs. Shaonda has been saying. It's been good.
I'm sure there's some additional tips out there, so let's hear from you.
Yes. Because I was going to say, we have got to the end. I'm trying to think of some other questions I can ask you. The questions we had. Let's see. So in raising your boys, is there something, as we were talking earlier about, you know, you being proactive and always teaching them that, is there anything that you can remember that you started doing with them as when they were younger that has really helped them as they've grown?
Well, one of the things that we are big on education. We always try to do everything as early, and I say that as early as possible. I mean, I would say it's never too early to start anywhere, but we had a big emphasis on education. We just tried to be as structural as possible when they were young. There was practically no TV during the week. It was home, academics, you know, maybe when it came to closer to the weekend, we might have given them 30 minutes of TV time or any other playtime, but mainly we did a lot of focusing and preparing them academically. We tried to have good structure for them. We gave them balance when in terms of sports and additional activities. We tried to be as supportive as we could because we want well-rounded children. Um, so those are the things that when they started young, that matriculated until, their basically adult life or early adult life, which with some of those activities that in turn um, allow Aubrey to basically get a full ride, a full scholarship. It started out as recreation. Then I'm like, okay, this is no longer about recreation. We need to use this as a plan for our future. So that's one of the things that we did that kind of progressed to something, that was very beneficial to them in life. So
That's great. And I like that, and that's a good habit that you had with them about the TV, because I think, TV kind of takes over all our lives because you can just sit and chill like a couch potato and watch TV, but, having that structure where they knew, don't even come in here with that nonsense, do your work, that's more important, and TV, that's something special.
yeah,
It's not a given. So that's good. Because I think the thing we have now is tablets. So even though, some of the programs they have out there are, I must say, educational and helpful. Because like little Michaela, that's what she likes. Whatever she gets on is educational. And she shocked me. We were riding down the street and she just looks over and she say, "Brakes." She's 4. And I was like, "What brakes? Did she hear somebody say brakes? What's going on?" But she knows it. But her mom says, like her sister like games, but she does the educational stuff on there. So it's helping her a lot. So, but whatever we can do that's, like you say, academic, that's going to help is good. And that's being proactive and, not waiting till, grades are down. And it's like, okay, what can we do to get these grades up? But starting out.
Absolutely. Yep. Like you say, it's better to, I believe if we're making things happen as opposed to reacting to something that happens, is less chaotic, less stressful. So if you're making it happen, then there's less chances of you going to have to always be reacting. I tell my boys know that if 2 words, proactive and procrastination. They know I don't like procrastination. They know I like proactive, and they'll tell you everything. They'll tell you, my mama don't play that. If she said we need to do this, that's what we need to do. And they understand that. And I think most people that probably know me, they're like, okay, yeah, she playing. She does this, she does this, she does this. But I tell them I am better at pre-planning than reacting to a situation. I don't know how to react to a situation. So I'm better at planning for it as opposed to reacting to a crisis.
Right. Yeah, it's nothing like, seeing somebody running at the last minute saying, "Oh, you have a post? I need a poster board. Store closed." No, I don't have a poster board.
Yeah.
Can't help you.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's good too, as well. I mean, that's something I thought I would do in school as well. I mean, I didn't just buy, enough supplies. So, this is what they said is needed. I still, this is how much I bought. My son been out of school, y'all know how long. I still got some of his supplies. I got composition books, notebook, paper, pens, pencil. I mean, I had it. He needed it. I had it.
Yeah. I think it's never too much to be over prepared, because I even travel that way, over prepared.
You too. I get in trouble about that. Girl, why you got all them clothes?
Yes.
Why you got all them shoes? Because I don't know where we're going. I don't know what the weather's going to be. And I have, tried to, okay, all right, you fussing and take stuff out there and get somewhere. I don't have enough clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I'm just, I'd rather have than not have. So
yeah, it's good. All right. Well, like I said, this went really fast, but this was a good conversation, and I do appreciate you coming on. But as we close, is there anything else on this subject that you would like to share that will help everyone?
I guess if I had to offer anything else, I would say, yeah. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise our children, um, as parents, as leaders, as mentors. We need to model proactive behavior for our children. And even some young adults. We need to model that. We need to teach it, and guide our children. We need to teach and guide our children, and our young people on how to be responsible for their success.
Yes, that's good. You hear that out there? Okay, I'm talking to your parents, grandparents, educators, mentors, pastors, leaders. We need to be there, support them, undergird them, show them the way, guide them, and lead them. You know, to be proactive and get things done. Good evening to my beautiful daughter-in-law. I just got finished talking about your baby. I gave her some kudos. But yes, thank you so much for coming on, and you're going to have to come back.
Okay.
This was very, very good. And see, now that I found out all these things you've been hiding from us. Oh, yeah. Parent, educator, leader. Hey, you got them all covered. But thank you so much. And I'm still waiting on my youngest, Mr. Bryant. When he gets settled, he still owes me.
Okay, I will definitely make sure he knows, and we try to get him scheduled and prepared soon. So, but I want to thank you for this opportunity, for inviting me as a guest on your parent chat for tonight. So I have thoroughly enjoyed, and I hope that our audience can take some tidbits from this segment.
Oh, I know that they will. And Brenda says, it shows on you.
Okay, Brenda.
Well, thank you so much. And if you can stay on when I close out as well. But thank you, Shaonda, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Please join us on Thursday, December the 9th. It is time for our coffee chat again. And, last month we talked about your truth, dependability, and believability. And we're also going to talk about that this time, but this time we're on part 2. And we're talking about reputation builders this time. Last time we talked about those reputation breakers. This time we're talking about reputation builders. So please join us at 6:30 on Thursday. And remember, as you travel on your road to being a better you, there will be rough terrain, detours, pit stops. Don't let any of these negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. The little jingle, jingle, jingle we're going to be hearing soon. The days are flying. But just be safe if you're going out there and that shopping and all those people out there. Be safe, because I won't be out there with you. So stay safe. See you Thursday.